Well done. It was a marvelous performance. There's hardly anything I can say about it, other than you seem to have a lot of fun in Snakes for your least favorite piece. No, I wasn't looking at you. I was looking through you. I like that tempo for Snakes. And I can hardly tell that you were doing the left and right thing the way I wrote it, but everything came out correct. So sometimes composers think they know what they're doing, and they try to do something very specific to a performer, and the performer finds a better way to do it, and you should always go with what the performer says. And in this case, they found a better way than what I wrote, but I'm not sure what it was, because it was all just a blur of fingers and knuckles and so forth on the screen. That was really fun to watch, by the way, and to listen to as well. I really have no comments on this, because everything I was saying about this piece was done perfectly. So if you want to say anything about it, anything you didn't like about the performance, you can go ahead, or not. Yes?
Well, so earlier you said you wrote the piece before you came up with the title.
Yeah. So
how did you come up with that before you thought of a snake? I don't get it.
The answer is that music is abstract and snakes are real. It only occurred to me when I finished that the hands would kind of look like they were snaking. The idea of snaking, but not literally of snakes. And I was going to call it Snacks, because I hate silent E's, what can you do with them? But then you'd have a movie called Snacks on the Plane. So sometimes you never know where these jokes are going to go. So actually, I was thinking of Snakes on the Plane when I used the title. Let's see, I have really nothing to say about this one. This was a heck of a lot of fun to watch. I'd ask you to play it again, but that would kind of be redundant. Did you notice that in Memories, the harp thing was done beautifully? And you had a completely different concept of the phrasing of the Excel Rondo, which is good. I like the fact that they all sounded a little bit different. Yours got really fast at the end. It took a little bit longer to rev up. I like that. And I like what everybody else did, too. The way you did the ritardando was so perfect that when you got to the tempo primo, the texture right there was just sort of perfect for the piece. I had a question about argument. Can you play any louder when it says forte? I know it's really fast notes, and it's hard playing them really loud because you don't have enough time to get the hand going. But if the fortes are more exaggerated, then the fact that the secondo isn't arguing at first then becomes more evident. How about just playing the first 3 lines? We're making the fortes as forte as possible. Change them to 5S. I didn't bring that many. Notice that his first 2 phrases end with major chords, meaning he knows he's right. Play it again. That's a G-flat major chord in first inversion, is the way you end the first phrase. Now listen, just for the sake of the structure of the piece, how the primo doesn't really have an answer, just an argument, whereas the secondo has an answer but has an answer but no argument, or something like that. Just so you hear that your phrases actually resolve. The other phrases don't. They just get thicker. Just play that same amount again, and see if you can keep it that fast and that loud. He was really having fun. Yeah, that was nice. I like the way you sort of, I think you were doing it unconsciously. You were actually passing off the lines to each other. You could see the way you were bobbing your heads, and you knew that someone else was going to be taking up the argument. In Forgotten Song, there was one point that in the two bars before A where it rushed just a little bit. It's sort of a natural tendency for that kind of music. But I would say, don't worry about it. I really like the diminuendo and the slowing down you did for the very ending. That was really beautiful. And I like the fact that in your presentation, it's sort of an ending that's a question. And the way you look, you were waiting for it to resolve, and then became sort of circumspect when it didn't. And so that is, I think the presentation was a good thing for the piece. You did that also at the end of Memories as well, because that's something where the end of the argument is sort of in the middle of the bar, which is the wrong place, and it went, and then just let it fade away. That was very good. That is actually using the presentation to give the audience the structure of the music, which you obviously understand. This, I bet you're tired of this by now, the invention. The horizon, when you say you didn't get until a few days ago, what did you mean by that?
Okay, well, is there a camera shot? Can you see that little like, sun right there? I guess there is. She actually came up with the epiphany, so.
Oh, the epiphany.
Yesterday we had like this rush practice for today, and then
It's called cramming.
yeah, and then I thought, he drew the sun right here, and then it looks like a horizon.
Yeah.
So then it starts with a P, and then it goes to MP, and then MS, and it goes back down to MP.
Yeah.
So then it starts at P, is at the bottom, and then it goes higher. And
The shape of the sun.
Yes. Or also maybe like sunset starting at the piano, going up to noon at the mezzo forte, and then sinking back down to sunset right at the very end.
Any metaphor that helps you do the piece is all right with me. I just called it Horizon because I needed a title. You played this just as beautifully as the previous group did, so how about, I want to hear this because I kind of like it. It's when you finally slow down 4 before B right here. Is the camera shot on the music? Right here, this line here, I want to hear that again, and I love the voicings at the very end, which really help the melody itself come out. Cool. Big round of applause. Does anyone have any questions for me or for the player? We'll probably leave after this. Thank you so much. Thank you. I do see every once in a while.
Oops, what did you do with your pen?
I have.
Oh.
What'd you do with my pen?
Okay, there you go. Even
Oh,
better over there, though.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, this one.
Oh, okay. Well, your shoes.
How long did you guys work on pieces?
I don't remember.
Thanks.
I guess I'm enough.
Okay, thank you. All right, good job, Sam. It was fun, right? Yeah, very fun. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you.